Alright, so boom. We're 6 days removed from the conclusion of WrestleMania, and a lot of people have been asking me what are my thoughts on the fact that WrestleMania was not only 2 days, but it happened with an absence of the crowd. Well, I, for one, having been to a WrestleMania last year to be exact, I feel as if the crowd is essential to the performance of the wrestlers. More importantly, it's necessary for the entire event. The crowd is what makes WrestleMania WrestleMania. The allure of having 80+ thousand, 90+ thousand, 100+ people in the arena erupting at the beginning of somebody's entrance, during a match, at the conclusion of a match, that's what makes WrestleMania WrestleMania. And because you had situations like COVID-19, coronavirus, that took that away from the wrestlers and really from the fans who would have had an opportunity to attend a WrestleMania for the first time or second or whatever amount of time that they've been there. It truly is saddening. I must say, watching it, it was very different because you can hear the silence in the arena. You can hear every single breath that the performers took. You could hear the sweat fall from their body to the floor. It was very odd, very trippy. Something I've never really experienced. Remember the match in '99 between The Rock and Mankind, where they had the match in an empty arena? Imagine that for the entire pay-per-view. That's what WrestleMania 36 was. Now, granted, SmackDown and Raw had already been taping in empty arenas, but a WrestleMania? That's something that you're not really used to. God damn, ringer always on when I'm trying to record. Whatever the case is, alright, it was something very bizarre. Now, as for the show being split into 2 days, I really like this idea, and I do believe that WWE should adapt this moving forward. Because WrestleMania, or I should say, pay-per-views now, the big four, have since become so stretched out and draining to where you don't want to watch as long as you're watching. You just want to tune into the matches that you actually are excited for, and then you check out. Most people aren't watching a full pay-per-view through and through. They're taking a large amount of breaks. They'll watch 3 straight matches, and all of a sudden another match they really don't care about happens. Oh, it's time for a lunch break. It's time for a bathroom break. It's time for a coitus break. And they'll return when something they actually care about is on. Because who wants to sit through a 7-hour show? People love wrestling. But 7 consecutive hours, that's a long time. It's like you going to work. It's like you going to school. You don't really want to sit here for that long. Alright, wrestling has now become the longest drawn out, a performance production of all sports. No sports are you sitting in front of something for 7+ hours. When I went to WrestleMania last year in MetLife Stadium, or I should say MetLife Stadium, it lasted forever. Pre-show started at 5. Main event, really, the bell rung after 12. It was already the following day. By the time Becky got the pinfall on Ronda Rousey, it was like 12:20 something. So WrestleMania lasted from the kickoff show until the end, 7.5 hours. That's far too long. So slicing it into 2 days is good. There was no Hall of Fame. That's unfortunate. There was no NXT TakeOver. That's unfortunate. What WWE should do moving forward, Monday Night Raw should stay on Monday. So we'll go backwards. Matter of fact, no, we should go forward. NXT on Wednesday. Do NXT the way that you guys did back in the day. When takeovers were on Wednesdays, bring that back. That can be the first event to kick off WrestleMania week. Nothing on Tuesday. You just have your access or whatever. Takeover on Wednesday. Put the Hall of Fame on a Thursday. Friday could be your regular Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home show prior to WrestleMania. Saturday, day 1. Sunday, day 2. The Raw after Mania on Monday, the following day. It should be able to work no problem. It's not as if you're making a huge cash grab on the people who want to go in attendance because they'll be willing to pay anyway. It's not like you gotta spike up the prices. That's not the case. You're already gonna have the venue open for the events that you're gonna be doing. I think they should adopt the 2-day style. It fits well. 3-hour pay-per-views, the way they used to do it, always feels good. It's not short and sweet, because 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours is in a very short time. But you can accomplish so much more in the attention span of your audience. It feels better for them, so where they don't have to feel extremely drained halfway through a show. Anybody who's been to a WrestleMania over the course of the last 4 years maybe, it's been getting more draining by the year. If you've attended a watch party, halfway through, if you've been drinking alcohol, you're going to start to get tired. So I like the fact that it's been 2 days. As for the review of the show, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There weren't too many low points outside of the booking of some matches to where some people who won probably shouldn't have won. The pre-show, nobody really cared too much for that. Cesaro beat Drew Gulak, and then the following day, I believe it was Liv Morgan getting the best of Natalya. But on day one, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking down the Kabuki Warriors. That wasn't a huge problem. It was a decent match for what it was. Elias taking down Corbin. I don't think there's many people who wanted to see Corbin win. Becky Lynch beating Shayna Baszler. That was something I didn't agree with. You booked Shayna to be a complete, monster. Had her win the Elimination Chamber like it was nothing. She stepped into the Royal Rumble and brutalized everybody. Then you had her lose in a roll-up at WrestleMania. Like, you could have had Becky look as if she was tapping, but the referee were to miss it to really build up Shayna. Like, having her lose like that, what was the point? Okay, but nonetheless, that's what happened. Sami Zayn beating Daniel Bryan. I don't mind that. Sami Zayn hadn't had a title on the main roster since he came up, and it's decent enough for the finish of the match the way it went, so I got no huge problem with that. John Morrison in the Triangle Ladder match with Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. That was spectacular. Very good finish. Something that we really didn't see before, so I have no issue with that. It is actually the shirt that I wore at last year's WrestleMania. Kofi Mania, I might add. Kevin Owens taking down Seth Rollins. The first match being, the DQ from Rollins hitting Owens in the head with the ring bell, then Owens stepping in the ring with a microphone saying, hey, this WrestleMania, this ain't the way it's going to go down, no DQ, and surprisingly, nobody came to the ring. Something I did not see coming, so I really enjoyed the finish of that match. Very well booked. Owens went over, the right guy won. Good job. Braun Strowman taking over for Roman Reigns, who pulled out of WrestleMania because of health concerns. This is somebody who battled leukemia, cancer. Now you got this whole COVID-19 coronavirus outside. You don't want to put yourself at risk. So good on him for, choosing his health first and wanting to be with his family rather than putting it at risk on the grandest stage of them all. And then Braun Strowman comes out and beats Goldberg in a match where both people came in with their handicap on 100. You remember playing SmackDown Here Comes the Pain back in the day, 2003, playing your PS2, when you could start the match and put your specials all the way to 5, where you already start the match with your finishing move? That was the case in this match. There was nothing but finishes. Goldberg hit, 3 spears? Braun Strowman responded with 4 power slams, or was it 4 spears and then 3 power slams? Whatever the case was, Braun Strowman walked away with the title. I thought Goldberg was gonna, retain. I'm not a big fan of Goldberg losing the title here. Not because I want to see the old man have a lengthy title reign, but because this kind of does away with what Bray Wyatt and The Fiend was. The Fiend took how many curb stomps against Seth Rollins? Indestructible. This man brutalized Daniel Bryan. Then he just loses like that to Goldberg. And then Goldberg loses like that to Strowman when Strowman just lost the title to Sami Zayn. It's like, what was the build-up? This makes no sense. It kind of disqualifies everything that happened before. I'm not a big fan of that. I would have rather had Goldberg defend the title, and then you can just build it until SummerSlam. But McMahon did not want Goldberg to have a lengthy title reign, let alone did he have him working any dates after WrestleMania. So I guess I understand, but storyline-wise, not really a big fan. And then last but not least, The Undertaker and AJ Styles in that Boneyard match. Something that was very, very good. A lot of people, I saw some people saying, man, it was kind of corny. I didn't really like it. It didn't take place in the arena. It looked way too edited. Undertaker needs to retire. The thing with Undertaker retiring, I do agree with that. Let the old man rest. I think this actually was his retirement match quietly. But I enjoyed the production. In fact, this just opened a whole new avenue for WWE in the way that they can put matches. Imagine The Fiend in matches like this. I'll talk about his match in a little bit, but I truly did enjoy this match from start to finish. They touched on everything. The only downside was when Undertaker showed up, he didn't pull up with Jim Johnson's Big Evil. Alright, that's not what happened. He didn't pull up with Limp Bizkit's Rolling. That's not what happened. He came out to some next song I can't even remember the title of, nor the lyrics. My only issue was the music for Undertaker's win and his entrance and his win. Outside of that, I truly enjoyed this match. It had everything. You had Druids, you had Gallows and Anderson show up out of nowhere. You had AJ Styles talking a gang of trash, showing up inside of a casket from a hearse. All of this. Alright, I truly enjoyed all of the things. I think they can use this moving forward for those sort of demonic characters, things that they can do moving forward. So I enjoyed this, especially with the production quality. This can actually keep Undertaker around for a very long time. The man could just have matches behind a production. I really enjoyed the closeout of day one of WrestleMania. It literally was WrestleMania, the movie. The Undertaker Strikes Back. I enjoyed it. Day two, I already said the pre-show with Liv Morgan going over on Natalya. She needed this win. Does not hurt Natalya because let's just be honest. Who cares about Natalya? Then Charlotte Flair being Rhea Ripley. I'm not really a big fan of the title change, but I understand it's kind of tough to, assume Charlotte was going to lose on the grandest stage the way that they push her. So I knew this was coming. I wanted to be upset about it, but I couldn't because I knew going into the match that Charlotte was going to win. Aleister Black beating Bobby Lashley, magnificent. This was something that Black desperately needed. Bobby and having the dissension with Lana now, thank the Lord, this is finally going to put an end to this angle. I really hope they don't reconcile and now Lana stays with Bobby because this just seems like a terrible idea from the start, and the fact that it's continuing and it's not involving Rusev makes no sense to me. Break that up. Happy that Black got the W. Otis beating Ziggler, sensational. I was so happy at the conclusion of this match. For some apparent reason, I don't know why I got so invested. I had no clue I would have this sort of attachment to this match. But then when he finally ended up kissing Mandy, something that nobody really thought was going to happen, I got so excited during my live stream, I damn busted my chair. Alright, my gluteus, my left glute had, when I I elevated from the seat and I got upward. When I began my descent, the left hand side of my chair busted at the bottom. Till this day, it's still a little bit ruptured. So when I sit, I got a little bit of a lean. Alright, it seems like I got something wrong with my spine. Alright, maybe some kyphosis, scoliosis, lumbar lordosis, or lumbar stenosis. Whatever it was, alright, my chair is now destroyed because of this that match. But I did enjoy it from start to finish. You did see what could be teasing towards the breakup of Fire and Desire. So, very good match. Good victory for Otis. He definitely did need it. After that, you had Edge and Orton. This was a match that I was kind of upset about, not because of how it went down, but because there was no fans. Edge is returning for the first time in 9 years. This is his first singles match since WrestleMania 27 when he took down, I believe it was Alberto Del Rio in defending his World's Heavyweight Championship. And remember the pop that he got at Royal Rumble when he returned back in January. This is that sound of "You Think You Know Me," and the way that the crowd blew up, it reminded me of seeing Austin come out, seeing The Rock come out. That was a hell of a pop, and he got robbed of that at this WrestleMania 36. More importantly, Edge's entrance needs the pyro, and we did not have it. That bothered me. But for all intents and purposes, this is one of my favorite matches of both nights. It was an hellacious match. All of the weapons were used. Told a sensational story. Edge's eyes. If you just go back and watch the entire match, just look at Edge's face throughout the entire match. You talk about all of the emotions, really encapsulating all of the 9 years and the grinding this brother had to go to get to this point. It really tied in the entire story. I truly enjoyed it from start to finish. The concerto to close out the match, magnificent booking on both these guys, and the way that they put this match together, very good. They fought all over, oh well, not even really the ring, because they exited the ring with the quickness. Backstage in the weight room on top of a damn trailer. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Good victory. Street Profits defending their title against Angel Garza and Austin Theory, along with Zelina Vega. I enjoyed the match. I feel as if there was a crowd here, this would have really built, because the Street Profits really know how to play on the crowd. I said during my live stream, Angel Garza has all of the tools to really become like an Eddie Guerrero. He just has the same sort of swagger that Eddie had, but that's for a different conversation. But man, I enjoyed this match. Street Profits defended. Zelina Vega decided, hey, we're gonna go and beat up. I'm gonna order my guys to beat the crap out of the Street Profits. Bianca Belair came out and gave the beats by Dre to Zelina Vega, and that was a sensational moment at the end of that match. Really enjoyed it. And then Bayley defended her championship in the Fatal 5-Way match against Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina. This was a match that I thought Sasha Banks would end up going away with the victory. I didn't foresee maybe at the end it would be Bayley, Lacey Evans, and Sasha. I thought Bayley would have probably got eliminated at maybe second or third. And then we pretty much confirmed there'll be a new champion, and then Sasha wins. But to have, the small Bayley, oh, I missed Lacey, I hit Sasha. Sasha comes in the ring, hey Bayley, you hit me. Woman's right, Sasha's down. Pinfall, she's gone. Bayley goes over on Lacey. I didn't really see that one coming. I was disappointed. And Sasha's 0-5. I'm a Sasha Banks fan. I'm part of the Sasha crew. I was hurt, but Bayley won. It is what it is. The match was could have been better, but it is what it is. Tamina getting eliminated in the first. Everybody probably saw that one coming. I don't know why they keep putting her in championship matches. Nobody under the sun believes Tamina's gonna win the title. It's just not gonna happen. Then The Fiend beating John Cena in a match that was a complete genjutsu. I don't know what this Firefly Funhouse was. Watching the entire thing the first time was like, what the hell's going on? But I was thoroughly entertained by it. So kudos to production and everybody who gave the okay on this match, because I don't know what the hell I was watching at first, but man, watching it a second time, this was a masterclass production. Well put together. Turns out it was just chronicling the entire career of John Cena and the ifs of what could have happened if things went different. And ultimately, I believe this was his retirement match. All right, I really enjoyed it. A lot of people thought this was going to be a match inside the ring. Me too. I thought we would have probably saw John Cena do the 5 moves of doom, and then ultimately everybody thinks he's going to overcome the odds, but then somehow The Fiend puts him down. The right guy won, if this even had a victor. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and just like I felt like with the Boneyard match with Taker and AJ Styles, this is a style of match that The Fiend can truly thrive in using television production, kind of things moving forward. This man could be having genjutsu matches with people day in and day out until he finally gets a chance to get his title back. So I really liked it. That was a very good match. Then Drew McIntyre taking down, Brock Lesnar. The only downside for this match was the fact that it was under 5 minutes. Outside of that, I really enjoyed it. The right guy won. This was just like Goldberg versus Strowman, where both guys came into the match with finishes on 7. Came in, you saw 3 F5s, you saw 3 German suplexes, and then you saw 3 Claymore kicks. It's kicked off with a Claymore like that. Alright, so things got started very action-packed from the beginning, but this was a moment that I feel like it could have been amplified had the crowd been there, because we all know the story of Drew McIntyre coming into WWE as the chosen one, being that guy handpicked by Vince McMahon, Intercontinental Champion. That experiment failed. Couldn't really find himself, thrown into the new age job squad of 3MB, having to leave the WWE, going into the independent circuit, finding himself once again, never getting into a physique that we never really saw from him, coming back as an absolute killer, winning the NXT Championship, getting hurt to where he had to go and drop that title. I believe he got hurt in a match where he dropped the title, then going to the main roster, feuding for how it felt like a decade with Roman Reigns, then becoming the guy that he always believed that he could be, and then getting to winning the Royal Rumble, getting to WrestleMania, and unfortunately he did not have that moment with the fans, but the right guy won. And then ultimately at the end I heard that there was a dark match between Big Show and Drew McIntyre. I didn't even see it. I thought the broadcast cut off. I'm pretty sure everybody's broadcast cut off, and then he beat Big Show in like 7 minutes. I had no clue. I still ain't see his match till this day. But for the most part, I enjoyed WrestleMania 36. Alright, I liked it from start to finish. I really like the production, but if there's anything that they WWE should take away from this is maybe consider the 2-day, presentation of WrestleMania. I think that really can help moving forward, because these pay-per-views are going to continue to get way too many matches. They're going to continue to get longer and longer and longer. Why have an 8-hour show when you can literally break it into 2 parts and have a 4? Make WrestleMania that weekend spectacular to where you dominate not only Saturday, but also Sunday. They can pull it off. They realistically do. They can pull it off. But let me know what your thoughts on this past WrestleMania was. How did you feel about it? Did you enjoy it? Did you even get an opportunity to watch it? And if you watched it later on, how did you feel about it? What did you think about the Boneyard match and also the Firefly Funhouse match? I'd like to hear your thoughts about this past WrestleMania, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of people thought, man, it was boring. I enjoyed it. I liked it. And to be quite honest with you, the next WrestleMania next year, it's going to be in LA. And I'm going to try to see if I can go. So if you guys have plans to go to a WrestleMania next year, let me know. Maybe we can run into each other. Also, if you've been to a WrestleMania, describe your experience. I went last year. It was a blast. If you were somebody who bought tickets to go to this WrestleMania and now you were denied due to COVID-19 coronavirus, let me know your frustrations as well. But ultimately, I want to know your thoughts on WrestleMania. Leave it in the comment section. And I look forward to hearing from you.